Hey Deuce, what was just the most difficult thing about trying to get yards against that defense today?
I mean, all props to Iowa State. They have a really good defense. They flew around all day, and I mean, they just made plays. I mean, you got to break tackles and try to make plays. I mean, they're all over the place. They have their it's kind of like a 3-5-3, so they have their three high safeties, they have the star safety, and I mean they're run fit and everything like that. I mean, I just got to execute better and try to make plays.
Sounded like both Chris Kleiman and Cody Fletcher mentioned maybe doing some soul searching after this loss. Is there anything you guys can do as a team to come together a little bit stronger here down the stretch?
Just keep battling. I mean, we're gonna get back to work on tomorrow with recovery and some stuff like that, and then we're gonna get back on Monday and just really the leadership is what has been getting hit on. We have to take control of our team. I mean, we've had some guys leave and some things like that, but just making sure that we take control of. I mean, the dudes that we have right now, just getting back to work and not taking anything for granted coming up in this next week because we only have two games left that are guaranteed in the bowl game, everything like that. But we're gonna go give it our all, and then just coming together. I mean, just every day in practice, just getting better as a team is gonna be the biggest thing.
And last one for me, just how deflating was it today, and has it been recently to keep getting turned away on some of those goal line opportunities?
Not deflating, I wouldn't say. I mean, I feel like our mindset on offense is if we don't punch it in that drive, I mean, we're just saying whenever we get an opportunity again, we're going to punch it in. We're gonna do it on the next drive if it doesn't happen right then. Of course, we just got to execute better as an offense down when you get that close. I mean, you got to punch it in. 0 and 7 points is a big difference, and even 3. And that's one thing that we just got to make sure that we hone in on whenever we're getting ready for these next 2 games.
Ryan?
Hey, Deuce, given just how dynamic of a player you are, I find it hard to believe that you've maybe ever been involved in many shutouts. When's the last time you actually were part of a game where your team got shut out? Or has it ever happened?
I believe my freshman year, my freshman year of high school, we were playing and we got shut out. I think we were playing Round Rock High School. I don't remember exactly the team, but my freshman year of high school, we got shut out. That's the game that I can remember.
And then when Nick came in, we've usually only seen him come in, and a lot of times when the games are already kind of won for you guys, he hands the ball off a lot. So with him getting more extended playing time, what's the biggest difference for you in terms of how you have to play with him as opposed to when Will's in there? Because obviously they have their own preferences of how they go about calling plays and things like that.
I mean, nothing really. I mean, maybe the height difference, but I mean, as far as everything goes, I mean, whenever Nick came in, it was kind of just business as usual. I mean, we don't really change anything up. We're gonna go and execute off. Coach Messaham's gonna call the plays, and we're gonna have to go execute. And I mean, nothing really changed in my eyes.
And the last thing for me, Deuce, I guess were you a little bit surprised how the offense bogged down, given that on the first 2 plays, Sebastian picked up like 29 yards, and the play later you picked up 8. Did it kind of feel like, well, hey, maybe we've got something on track today?
Right. I mean, at the beginning, I felt like we had an amazing first drive. Of course, we didn't punch it in, but I feel like that kind of we thought was going to set the tone for the rest of the game. And I mean, it didn't really boil down to that, but just we can't get frustrated or get tied up and saying, I mean, we just went 3 and out. It's always the next play. We should get back to that whenever we get back to work on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, getting ready for Baylor, because it's always the next play. You can't be caught up in one or that first drive and say, hey, we had a really good first drive, and then come on the second drive and it's a whole new drive.
Thank you, Deuce. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Deuce, one thing Coach had mentioned was the accountability issues. He said he didn't hold you guys accountable or each other accountable, both on the field and off the field. I guess how long have some of those issues been there with this team?
I mean, really, the coach has been tugging at us to take leadership in our own team and take command of our team. Really, they always tell us this is our team, and I feel like we have to do a better job as players. I mean, whether you're a freshman, redshirt freshman, a fifth-year senior, I mean, you have to hold your team accountable because, I mean, days like this, I mean, all I want to do is get back to work. And as a leader, I need to be better as well. And I know that. And that's exactly what I'm going to work on whenever we get back to it. And I'm going to hold my teammates accountable. I know they're going to hold me accountable. And whenever we start to get that clicking and everything, I feel like we'll be unstoppable.
You feel like you already at this point in your career are one of those guys on the team that the guys will look to in that regard?
Yes, sir. And I just need to do a better job at taking command of that because, I mean, I have respect for every single guy on this team right now, and I hope they have the same respect for me. So whenever it comes down to it, if everybody has respect for each other, you don't really need one leader at the top or five. I mean, you can have an entire team of leaders because everybody respects each other as a football player and as a teammate, and that's just the biggest thing for me.
Appreciate it, Deuce. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Last one here, Michael.
Yeah, Deuce, as a freshman, do you have that confidence to be a vocal leader in the locker room and on the field?
Yes, sir. It's starting to get there. It's starting to come along as we get going and everything. Of course, COVID and everything has kind of hindered being able to have a relationship with every single guy on the team because of, I mean, just close contact and everything like that. But, I mean, just I respect every single guy on this team. And, I mean, like I said, I need to be better at being a vocal leader because I feel like I can be able to step into that role as far as everything goes. But, yes, sir, I do.
You've touched on this, but how do you go back to the drawing board when you had, I think, 1/3 of your first downs on the first drive and maybe 1/2 of your yardage on that first drive? How do you guys go back Monday and just kind of get back to work?
We go and look at what we did wrong. We go and look at things that we did well. And then we make up a game plan for Baylor. And then we get back to work. We just go practice, watching the film, making sure that, like I said, we're holding each other accountable during practice and just being leaders and making sure nobody's on lists and everything like that. And just as a whole, we just have to come back together and just start executing. Executing is going to be the biggest thing.